All right, listen carefully. This one is deep and you need to follow it step by step so you don't miss anything. Right now, there is a strong headline moving everywhere saying that a senior general has refused a direct order from Emerson Mnangagwa, and people are already shouting that the chain of command in Zimbabwe is completely broken. That kind of statement is very heavy because in any country, especially one with a strong military structure, the chain of command is everything. Once people start saying it is broken, it creates fear, tension, and serious attention. But let's slow it down and understand what is really happening behind this headline so you don't just follow noise. What we are seeing right now is not a sudden event that started today. The situation has been building gradually. There has been quiet tension inside the political and power structure of Zimbabwe, and now it is beginning to show more openly. The main issue at the center of everything is the discussion around extending the president's time in office. As it stands, the current expectation is that the leadership should follow a set timeline. But now, there are talks and movements suggesting that this timeline could be adjusted. Once something like that comes into the picture, it naturally creates two sides. Some people support it, saying it brings stability. Others are strongly against it, saying rules should not be changed like that. Now, here is where it gets more serious. The people speaking out are not just ordinary citizens. We are talking about individuals who have strong backgrounds, including war veterans, retired military figures, and insiders who understand how power works in Zimbabwe. When these kinds of people start raising concerns, it means something deeper is going on. So when you now see a headline saying a senior general refused an order, what it is really pointing to is this growing disagreement at the top level. It is not just about one command. It is about a bigger struggle of influence, control, and direction. If you are following this clearly, go ahead right now and like this video and subscribe to the channel because I am breaking this down in a way that is simple and very clear for you to understand. Now let's go deeper. In any structured system like the military, orders are expected to move from the top down. The president gives direction, senior commanders interpret it, and then it flows down to the rest of the force. That structure is what keeps things stable, but when there is disagreement at the top, even if it is not open rebellion, it creates a kind of silent tension. People begin to question decisions. Some may delay action, some may push back quietly, and from the outside, it starts to look like the system is shaking. That is what people are reacting to right now. But let me make something very clear so you understand properly. There is no widely confirmed evidence that a serving senior general openly refused a direct operational order in a way that has caused a full breakdown of command. That kind of situation would be extremely serious and would likely come with immediate official communication. What we are seeing instead is something more strategic and less direct. It is disagreement, pressure, and positioning. Now, let's talk about positioning because this is where the real story is. Inside any political system, especially one with a long history like Zimbabwe, there are always groups thinking about the future. Who leads next? What direction should the country take? Who has influence and who is losing it? These are questions that never stop. So when a major issue like extending leadership comes up, it forces everyone to take a position, even if they don't speak loudly. Some align with the current leadership, some stay neutral, some quietly resist, and some come out openly to challenge. This is the environment we are seeing right now. And when these positions start clashing, it creates tension that people outside interpret as crisis. If you're understanding this level of detail, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. This kind of breakdown helps you see beyond headlines. Now let's continue. Another important thing you must understand is the history of power in Zimbabwe. The current leadership itself came through a major political transition some years back, and the military played a role in that process. Because of that history, anytime people hear anything related to generals, orders, or refusal, it immediately triggers concern. People start thinking, is something about to happen again? But right now, what we are seeing is not that kind of direct situation. It is more of a power struggle happening within the system, not outside it. Think of it like this in simple terms. It is not that the structure has collapsed. It is that the structure is under pressure. And pressure can come from many directions, from political decisions, from legal challenges, from public opinion, and from influential voices inside the system. All these things are happening at the same time. Now let's talk about the legal side. Whenever there is a major political move like changing leadership timelines, it often ends up in court. People will challenge it, question it, and try to stop it through legal means. This adds another layer of tension because now it is not just politics, it is also law. And when law and politics meet, Things slow down, arguments increase, and uncertainty grows. This is part of what is feeding the story you are seeing. Now let's come back to that powerful phrase, chain of command completely broken. In real terms, that phrase is very strong. It suggests total loss of control. But in this situation, it is more accurate to say there is strain within the chain, not a complete break. And that difference is very important because once a chain is truly broken, you will see clear and immediate consequences. What we are seeing now is more like internal friction. And friction does not always lead to collapse. Sometimes it leads to adjustment. Sometimes it leads to compromise, and sometimes it leads to bigger decisions. That is why this moment is very important to watch. If you are still following, I appreciate you. Make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss how this story develops. Now let's talk about what could happen next. If the current tension continues, we may start seeing more open statements from powerful individuals. We may see more legal actions. We may see clearer positions being taken. If things calm down, it could mean that discussions are happening behind the scenes to manage the situation, because not everything happens in public. In fact, most serious decisions happen quietly before they are announced. So what you're seeing now is just the visible part of a much bigger conversation happening in the background. And that is why people are paying attention. Now, let me simplify everything again so it is very clear in your mind. The headline is dramatic and attention-grabbing. The reality is more complex and more controlled. There is tension, yes. There is disagreement, yes. There is pressure building, yes. But there is no confirmed total breakdown of command. What we are watching is a system going through a sensitive phase where different forces are trying to shape the future direction. And that is why this story is important. Not because everything has collapsed, but because something is shifting. And whenever something is shifting at the top level of power, it affects the whole country. So stay calm, stay informed, and always look beyond headlines. If you've reached this point, you already understand more than many people just reacting online. Make sure you like this video and subscribe because I will keep breaking these stories down for you in a way that is simple and clear.